you to Cobb PLC's Quarter 4 honor ceremony.
Please stand and cite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Now I'd like to present to most and introduce to others our intern directors of Cobb PLC this week.
Wow, I get the honor of welcoming you here today. I want to say, first of all, my name's Susan Wing, and I've been honored to serve as interim director since about mid-February, where I first met this great group of young men and young women. And it is so exciting to look over here and see accomplishments become reality. And I know for those of you that are here, that's what you're thinking as well. We're finally seeing those accomplishments become reality. So thank you very much for that. You know what, we just had a moment of silence, and it's funny because we live in a crazy busy world, and sometimes we forget to stop and reflect. And so whether you did now or later, I want you to reflect upon your time here and the things you've learned. And again, what an awesome opportunity to graduate and finish out here strong. I do want to say that we are all mortals, we are all humans, and we all make mistakes. And we're very fluid here at PLC, and I can tell you that the last few days have been a flurry of activity and assignments being turned in. And am I going to make it? And do I have everything? And did I pass that test? And I know you've experienced that at home too, haven't you? Oh my gosh, I've got to log in. I've got 5 more assignments, whatever. It has been a flurry of activity. And so we think we are accurate today, but we actually had a change right before the ceremony. And if we make a mistake, or you think your child should have been recognized and wasn't, or it is and shouldn't, or we misspell a name, we'll fix all that. So Ms. Hollinghead is right over here by the bell. So as we go through this, not for a misspelling, we'll fix that after the fact if something's misspelled. But if you felt like your student was supposed to be on this list and we missed them, we want to recognize and make sure we're squared away and we did not make any of those human errors. So thank you very much for being here. It is a day of celebration. And that's what the world needs a little bit more of. A little less strife and a little more celebration. So without further ado, we're going to turn it back over to our Mistress and Master of Ceremonies to begin our program. But thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ms. Wing, for that wonderful welcome. Next, we have the student recognitions presented by the staff and teachers.
Okay, so again, I'm Donna Bailey, and I have the pleasure of announcing to you students who have maintained perfect attendance for quarter 4. So students, as I call your name, please stand, and then our ambassadors will give you your certificate. Xavier Bartholomew. Jody Hubbard. Scott McElhaney. Keegan Muhammad. Jennifer Nolan. Or Donnie, I hope that's good. James Ray. Roberto Santos.
teachers here. And I was thinking this morning when I was on my way in, we're a very close staff, and we all get along really, really well. The only time we disagree about anything is when we're trying to pick a student of the month. Because everybody always wants their person to win, and so we try to make sure that everybody who one of their teachers wants recognized gets recognized. And so we picked out 2 students of the month for April, and that is Miss Asia Pons-Burks. While Ms. Bailey looks for those, we'll call up the 2 students for May. And for May, it's one of our graduates, Casey Cheyenne. Santos. Oh.
Thank you, Ms. Stephanie, for presenting the ceremony awards.
Next, we will have the COG PLC teachers come and present academic awards for specific students.
All right, so my student of the month, first off, I'm Mr. Bomar. I'm one of the social studies teachers here at Cobb Performance Learning Center. My student of the month worked extremely hard, did very well. Basically, he kind of exemplifies what I feel. I look for in a social studies student, someone that thinks critically, someone that works really hard, and someone that is willing to say things that maybe I not necessarily agree with, but can prove those things with facts, and that was Jamie and Bowler.
Okay, I'm Miss Davis. I'm one of the English teachers here, and my award goes to someone that stuck out to me from the minute that they entered my class. I was very impressed with his work ethic, and that person is Austin Murphy. And the other English teacher is not able to be here today, and that's Miss Walker, so I'm going to present her award on her behalf. So the student that she chose has a quiet spirit. When she works on her assignments, especially essays, she asks questions for understanding and clarity because she wants to complete it to the best of her ability. And Ms. Walker really appreciated her hard work. So her award goes to Brianka.
Okay, so my award I've opted to give to our Mistress of Ceremonies, Miss Harmony Price. And again, it's her work ethic and her diligence and her willing to do whatever it took and actually to finish geometry early, which so rarely happens. So she has just done a wonderful job here. She hasn't been with us that long, but she settled right in and she picked up, and I'm so proud to give you my award.
Hello, I'm Janine Holohan. I'm one of the math teachers here at Cobb PLC. And for my student, this student worked so hard the minute walked in the door till it was time to break for lunch. The work that she did was fabulous. The detail she put into it and the questions that she asked. She really thought about what she didn't understand, and then she asked me she just did so beautifully. I mean, A's and everything. So I'm so excited to present this award to Mackenzie Fitz. Please come up.
Good afternoon. My name is Tammy McClain. I'm also one of the math teachers here at the Cobb PLC. And the young lady that's receiving my award, I don't think she's here today, but I actually interviewed her when she came to enroll at the PLC. And I could tell the minute that I met her that she was a hardworking, diligent young lady, just from the conversation that we had. And then when I had the pleasure of having her in class for 2 quarters, as Ms. Holohan said, her work was meticulous. She asked the questions, and she was also, like Mr. Bowmore said, willing to prove something wrong. And so she'd say, I don't think they have the right answer on this question, and she would be right. If we look at the test, I'd say, no, you're correct. That's one of the test errors in the program. So my award goes to Ann Crow.
Hi, I'm Will Trice, the health, personal fitness, and one of the social studies teachers here at the PLC. So I've got a few awards to give out. For my health award, this person finished my health class faster than anyone's ever finished before. She finished in 2 weeks. I've never seen somebody work as hard as she did, and that person is Monica Epps.
I'm not mine.
For my personal fitness award, with that award, I look for someone that comes in with a smile on their face every day, doesn't complain about the workouts, always gives 100%. That person is Billy Dean. And for my social studies award, this person is another one that comes in every day, works extremely hard. He also finished this class early, that is Dave Liss.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mr. Ochoa, and I am the science facilitator for the PLC. In order to earn the science award, that student has to exemplify scientific curiosity. It has to be a student who is willing to help others and sometimes to teach. In addition to that, I also look for the student who has, in addition to the 2 other criteria, exemplify their ability to pursue and persevere in the face of adversity. And that young lady who has done that today is Miss Suwani Vargas.
Go get that lab coat.
Right. First, you would receive the intern lab coat that you could use here and beyond the PLC. Congratulations.
My name is Robert White. I am the business teacher here at the PLC. I had 2 students that completed 2 courses in the 9 weeks, well, 7 weeks that for this quarter. It was really hard to determine who I was going to give this to. I didn't know which one because both students worked very hard. quiet, really motivated to finish. So I went with the highest grade, and that is Austin Murphy.
Now, my sword will be presented by Chairman Moss.
Hello. Okay. So my story begins when I hit puberty and my life changed. For as long as I can remember, I didn't know what it was like to experience feelings. I struggled through my early teens because I never felt emotions. I only felt emptiness. The only time I felt happiness was when I experienced God at church and at church retreats. I would cry randomly, get mad for no reason, and distance from all the things I used to do as a child. As I got older, it only got worse and worse. My parents found cuts on my arms at the age of 13. They reacted by lecturing me about how I was going to seem crazy to other people, so I told them that I did it just to try it and that I was fine. I never spoke about my emotions for years because I feared what other people would think. I do not blame my parents for not knowing my internal struggles and for reacting the way that they did. As humans, it's natural to reject things we don't understand. Mental illness is something that we as mankind push aside because it's not something that can be physically seen. So fast forward a couple of years to my freshman year of high school at Walton High School. I finally opened up to my closest friends about what I was going through. Their advice was, and I quote, "You shouldn't reach out and get help because it would cause too many problems." Looking back, these people were not my real friends, but I was young and naive. I went with their advice and eventually got to my breaking point sophomore year. I went to the doctor for a regular checkup and they gave me a mental health survey. I filled it out honestly, and after the doctor read it over, she rushed my grandmother out of the room. Before my doctor could say a word, I began to sob hysterically. The only words I could get out were, "I can't do this anymore." After calming me down, we made a plan for therapy and she prescribed me medications. When I came home from the doctor's, I was alone. I was so distraught and my mind was racing. I poured a glass of water and opened up the pill bottle. I was going to overdose. As I put the bottle to my lips, every moment I had with God in my life flashed before my eyes. I broke down crying and put the bottle down. I wasn't going to let the thing that would save my life end my life. Fast forward again to my junior year of high school at Walton. My grades were awful. I was in mostly honors classes and I couldn't handle the pressure. I was maintaining my depression pretty well at this time. I ended up failing algebra, and instead of taking summer school, I decided to come to PLC. I mainly chose PLC because my best friend went here. Also, only having school 5 hours a day and not having school on Friday sounded pretty cool. I thought it would be nice to have a relaxing senior year. Little did I know it would be the worst year of my life. On August 27, 2017, my close friend committed suicide at the age of 14. I was with his family from the time the police and coroner came and for the next weeks that followed. I was being strong for his family, but deep down, I was at the worst mental state I had ever been in my entire life. I ended up in mental rehab to have 24/7 surveillance and to get the help I really needed. I missed a lot of school, and when I did return, my teachers helped me so much. I had a lot of breakdowns and ended up having to leave early a lot. I stayed on track and passed thanks to the faculty and staff here at PLC. Our school counselor, Ms. Hollenhead, helped me so much during this time. She let me do her work in her room, talk to her, and she even gave me a really cute heart-shaped stretch ball. Even though I ate all her candy and sobbed hysterically while she was trying to do work, she stayed patient and caring. She's more than a school counselor, she's a friend. I can't describe the love I have for her and for all the staff members here at PLC. At Walton, I was just a number to the staff. Here, I'm a person. If I had gone to Walton this year, I would have failed after missing the amount of school that I did. You will never meet any other teachers like the ones here at PLC. This was my first and final year at the PLC, and even though I went through so much this year, I can honestly say this is the best school environment I've ever been in. Thank you to the faculty and staff that make this program possible. My story has just begun, and I have all my teachers to thank for that.
to make the presentation of graduate candidates and the reading of the bell by Cobb PLC's Quarter Board graduates.
All right, Ms. Holman's gonna go first.
My name is Jane Holman, and I have the honor of speaking about two graduates today. So I'm going to ask Kaylee Heedy and DeAndre Lester to please join me up here. So DeAndre has been with me Algebra 2, but a lot of you might not be aware that he is also taking math classes online through CBA and Georgia Virtual. So he comes to visit me, which I love. He comes on Fridays, he comes after school, he seeks help when he needs it. He is a very, very bright individual. He is extremely successful. I am so proud of you, of all you've accomplished, and everything you've had to manage. You've been there for your family, you've been there for yourself and your friends, and I just wish you the very best. Your future is bright, enjoy it. Thank you so much. Kayla, Alana. So Kayla has been with me in Algebra 2, but as well, she has also done courses, CBA, as well as a full load here. There was a time, about 2 weeks ago, where she'd stay with me after school to get her work done early, because of course, we're ending early for them, they have to be cleared. And she was working so hard in my room. And that class, that CBA class, people were doubting whether she'd make it. And I told her, I said, just keep going. Don't look at the end, just keep going. We're working on math. She kept going. She didn't quit. She kept going. She passed that CBA class. She did beautifully in the math class. She was a pleasure to work with. I'm gonna miss you so much.
All right. Well, this is my favorite day here. First off, I wanted to say thanks, Liz, for sharing your story. One of the things, being a history teacher, we constantly reflecting on stories, but every one of these students here has a story. And I'm sure every one of these parents in the audience today have a story they can tell and to get us here. So I'd like for first, before I say anything, I want you all to give yourselves a hand for getting this. So I have the privilege and the honor to get to speak about 6 students today. That's a lot of students. So when I call you up, if you'll just come right here. Jamie, Deontay, Jamila, Damon, Alex, and Kevin. You can applaud now or you can wait. So, Jamie came to us last year. We worked together in advisement first. We had some great conversations. I got to know him a little bit more personally. He has an affinity and an amazing God-given talent with music. He is an incredibly bright young man, and he has worked extremely hard up until this point. I'm very excited for the future for you, sir, and I think it's time for you to ring that bell. Woo! Next young man is kind of a similar story. This is Damon. Damon came to us about a year and a half ago. 2? Time flies. I want to say that this young man is incredibly bright. He worked in my U.S. history class. We worked together. He has impeccable taste in music, so I don't know who his parents are, but they're not, well, they did a fantastic job with his music taste. He's overcome a lot of challenges to get to this point. He's incredibly bright, thinks critically, and I am 100% convinced that he is going to be successful in all avenues of life. So, Damon, so Deontay. Deontay and I have been together for a couple of, about a year and a half. He is extremely bright. When he is ready to work, he works extremely hard, but he is incredibly gifted. He has a passion for certain things, and he really devotes himself to those passions. So I know that you will be successful. And it's time to ring that bell. So Jamila first was with me this quarter in economics. She's extremely quiet, but she works incredibly hard. She has probably wondered how she got dropped into my class because of how crazy and weird I am at times. But she has worked incredibly hard at economics. She's just kind of plowed ahead, and I know that she is looking forward to the next stage of life. So at this point, it's time to ring this. Tough. Alex has been with us for about a year and a half, and Alex had a lot of things to overcome. She is a perfectionist in every way, and she has one of the sweetest hearts of any person. She is a very caring, wonderful person, and she has worked so hard to get to this point. She's had a lot to overcome, but I am extremely proud. So Kevin and I have been together for 2.5 years now. This is, honestly, if I had another child, this is my other child. We have worked together. Even when he thought he couldn't do something, even when he swore to me he couldn't do something, even when he just abandoned my classroom for no apparent reason, I knew he always could. And I knew we'd always be, and I just dropped it. I knew we'd always be here at this moment. It's been a moment well coming. So I'm extremely excited, Kevin.
about Jody, Hina, and Casey, so if you all want to come up here. All right, Jody. Okay. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and Jody got going. Whenever she was working on would get difficult, she would up her game, come in for the extra time, and did very well on a very difficult subject. So congratulations, Jody. Keep up that spirit. Casey. Casey was with me for both geometry and pre-calculus, and I knew how much he liked geometry when he would wear a shirt with the circles on it, so he was dressing the part. And Casey is a natural born leader. If some distraction might happen in the classroom, Casey's there to take charge. Casey is there to lead everybody and to just, so I'm sure that in your career, that leadership ability is going to serve you very, very well. And congratulations. What do we say about him?
Yeah, humor board.
I have never, ever seen a student take pre-calculus as quickly as Hina did. I think for something that's supposed to take 18 weeks, you maybe did it in 10. So she came in, a woman on a mission. She was going to get that high school diploma, and she sure did. Congratulations. Before I pass it off to Ms. Davis, I also want to say, Liz, Liz, thank you for sharing your story, and just make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you're kind to one another, because you never know what somebody might be going through, and just some little act of kindness might just make a world of difference to them at the moment. So thank you for sharing.
Okay, I would like for Liz to come up here, Bria, and JoJo. Okay, so let's start with Liz, who of course shared her beautiful story with us. The minute that Liz came into my room, she was focused, she was determined, and I was extremely impressed by her. She's someone that has set goals for herself, and she's on the path of achieving them. And she's also someone that I know will definitely have a successful future, so congratulations. And JoJo. Okay, now this is someone that I've really enjoyed having in my class. We talked about everything that you can think of. So I really admire her honesty and her perspective and how she's just able to speak her truth, and I hope that you hold on to that. Congratulations. And Bria. Okay, now this is someone that I could count on to speak to me every day. She has never passed me in the hall and not said something to me. She has some wonderful manners. She was a joy to have in class. And if you're having a bad day, she's full of compliments. She always has something nice to say. And I'm so happy for you, and I'm proud of you, and congratulations.
Hey, good afternoon again. I have the opportunity to recognize 4 wonderful young students if they will come up at this time. Monica, Wanye, Jalen, and Austin. I'm sorry, Jalen. Hey, again, as Mr. Bomar said earlier, this is my favorite day of the year. This is what I live for. This is what I enjoy. Working with these students and seeing how much they put into it is what makes me enjoy what I do so much. And this young lady put everything into it. Every day, the amount of work, the time, the conscientiousness that she would have, just wanting to know that she was doing it correctly. She's kind of like the story where they say you have to peel them back one like an onion, one sliver at a time. She's kind of like that. She shares little until she feels comfortable, and then she would share a little more, and she would share a little more. And she's one of those students that's had some of that frustration at a traditional school and didn't feel like the teachers ever listened to her or didn't feel like the teachers ever cared. One of those students that failed with a 69 and said, what happened, and no one ever said anything to them. And so sometimes she did have a trust issue. She's like, am I going to get through? And I kept saying, yes, you're getting through. You're doing great. You're amazing. Just keep going. But when they've had that happen to them in the past, they have such a hard time. And so she has come such a long way, and I so enjoyed working with her. Congratulations. This is Sunshine. Better known as Wanye, but she is my sunshine. As Miss Davis said, she's the person that checks on me every day. She comes to me every morning, and we can't be happy on Mondays. Mondays are you just have to be kind of calm and no big conversations. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can be chipper, is what she tells me. We talk about everything from how our grandmothers made biscuits to getting our toes done, but just some type of conversation about how her boss cooked her steak rare one night, but something to get our conversation and our day going. When I had her in class, she worked so hard, and I mean, it was just a joy to sit and watch her work, because when she put her mind to it, she would sit down and she would start and she would keep going forever and ever. She was a student that lost her way for a bit and wasn't here, and thanks to a phone call saying, come back, and she was given that opportunity, and she came back and made the most of it, and she was thankful for that, and we were thankful that she did that, so congratulations. And this is Jalen. Jalen had the fortunate or unfortunate thing of doing an entire credit of math with me this last quarter. That's all he had left to graduate, which meant he was with me every morning from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, sitting doing math. There had to be a little give somewhere along the way, some type of break, and so we would make deals. Okay, Jalen, take a rest, because I know your brain is hurting. But he kept on and kept on. He kept trusting that he was going to get through it. He kept sitting at the table and working with me every time I'd say, Jalen, come on, let's do this, and he would. I'm so proud of him and so impressed at how hard he worked and how much he got done this quarter. So congratulations, Jalen. of times because he's already gotten a couple of awards today. We're so proud of him, and we're so impressed with what wonderful work he has done here. But more than the work that he does in the classroom, how he's quiet, he sits and he does, he just keeps working. But I got to know him a little bit. He started talking to me every morning saying hello, or we'd always chat in the hallway. But his love for sports, if anybody wants to throw out a sports question for him right now, I'm sure he could probably give you a stat about it. So I know that he is going to be a sports reporter, sports journalist, some type of thing with the stats, because he is a wealth of just knowledge in his head, which was so impressive to me that I did not know about him. And I've so enjoyed having him in class, and congratulations, you did it.
I have the distinct privilege to introduce one of the graduates to you this afternoon. And she personifies my mantra that if it's conceivable, it is achievable. And this young lady I'd like to introduce to you is Miss Yokaisha Brown. I have not had Yokaisha as a student within the last year, but I've had her before. And really, she exemplifies persistence and fortitude, determination. When she puts her mind to it, she would achieve it. Although she has not had my class for the last year, I would see her almost every morning. She would come and say, Mr. Ochoa, how are you doing? Good morning. If in the afternoon she wants to review, to complete assignments, she and another friend would come into my room because she knows she can find a solace and a sanctuary right there. Yokaisha, whatsoever you can see, whatever your mind can conceive, and your heart can believe, you can achieve it. And I know that you would succeed in everything that you put your mind to. Congratulations. God ring the bell.
So the students I'll be speaking about today are Scott, Ben, and Leticia. Come on up, guys. All right, so Scott here, I've had him in a few classes over the past year. Every class I've had him in, he's always finished early. Even the ones he started a couple weeks late, he's finished early. He's one of the hardest working students I've ever had. Congratulations, Scott. Ring that bell. All right, so Ben here, he had the misfortune of having to stay in my room all day long every day this quarter. I know that can get boring, staying in one room all day. It's not too fun, right? Right. But here, the last few weeks, you started working really, really hard. You finished. Congratulations on your All right. Next student I have here is Leticia. She might be one of the quietest students I've ever had in my class, but also one of the most hardworking. From the minute she walked in to the minute she left every day, she was working hard on the computer, getting her work done. She was even working today, finishing up some stuff that she didn't really need to do. So congratulations. Go bring that up.
Jessica, Jalen, Maria, Jacob, and Jacoby. All right, I'm going to honor these 5 students today. The first student, Jessica, she has to be the greatest actor I know. She can ignore me whenever I'm singing, giving references, just joking around with the students to give them a little bit of time to just exhale. But Jessica, she just keeps working tirelessly, maybe because she wants to get out of my room. But Jessica, congratulations. Jalen, was I your first teacher here? Jalen and I, we go way back. I was one of his first teachers here. We give each other a hard time. It's very rare that I have a student that can give it back to me as hard as I give it back to them, give it to them. But Jalen, he tries to match me step for step. But Jalen is a very intelligent young man. He will go far. Wants to be a nurse, correct? Wants to be a nurse. I don't know if I want you to be a nurse. He might try to get revenge on me. But Jalen, good job. Congratulations.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Me.
Jacob is an extremely bright young man. We do have one issue with Jacob, though, is he doesn't know about tongues. That's just an inside joke, But Jacob is an extremely bright young man. He will go far in life, sometimes a little too smart, but he is an exceptional student, always a joy to have in class. He comes and visits with Mr. Trice and I in the mornings, and Jacob, great job. Oh, Maria. Maria's probably one of the kindest persons I know, because When I sing, she tells me I sound just like Beyonce. My dancing is like Michael Jackson. But Maria's been with me all day. Yeah, all day this quarter, right? Yeah, all day this quarter. So she was with me both blocks. So she gets to experience, you know, my heavenly voice when I sing. But through all that, she still works hard and finished early, right? Well, you'll finish on Monday, right? Yeah, she will finish early on Monday with a passing grade because she's already secured that. Great job, Maria. I had the pleasure of having Jacoby for the first time. For the first time. 2 weeks. About halfway through, about 3 weeks ago. He's taken entrepreneurship. He's been working hard to finish the course in that time. It's a 9-week course. He'll be finished in 3 weeks. Finished yesterday. Yesterday he did hit a wall though. Yesterday he was ready. He was ready. One thing I like about Jacoby, on a more fun note, he gets all my '80s reference on rap music. I did get him yesterday. No, day before yesterday. I did get him on one yesterday. But Jacoby, great to have in class. Great job. Miss Walker's not here today, so I'm going to recognize one other student, Tanya. Yeah, Tanya. I also do work-based learning and had Tanya for work-based learning. Always a smile on her face. Maybe come to see me. Always a smile on her face. Ms. Walker, I know she would say this, Tanya is a very hard worker, works extremely well in class. When I had her with work-based learning, the students are responsible for bringing me their assignments every week. I don't go chase them. I tell them that I'm not going to chase you, it's your responsibility. And Tanya, always on time, and just a great person. Now the following students are potential graduates, but for whatever reason they are not here today, but we still want to recognize them. The first person, Cheyenne Golden. Miriam Jones. Samantha Paul. Taylor Boykin. Richard Lewis. Antonio Carter. Irene Contreras. And Jose Perez. Sorry, 2 more. Giovanni with Miss Fairashaw with Miss McLean. And last but not least, Tyler Aaron.
You all, and let's continue with the ceremony. lasting memories will be presented by Mr. Bomar and Mr. Wade. Let's sit back and
I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for allowing us to serve as your master and mistress of ceremony for the Quarter 4 ceremony. It was indeed our pleasure to serve you in this capacity today.
now we're going to turn the remainder of the program over to the following leaders: Carol Fay, Executive Director of Community and Schools; Mr. Wagner, Assistant Superintendent of Cobb County School District High Schools; and Mrs. Wayne, Interim Director of Cobb Performance Learning Center.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Communities and Schools graduates, the Board of Directors, and our staff want to offer you our congratulations. Great job, Shannon. We are a nonprofit. This Performance Learning Center is a model of Community and Schools. We are a dropout prevention organization, national. And so, as we know with the high schools and the size of our schools, that many times the traditional high school is not the best place for a student. And so this has provided a phenomenal alternative. And they're graduating with their high school diplomas and with motivation and opportunity to go on and excel in life and excel in their careers. And so we are so very, very proud. Now, some of the things that we bring here, first of all, our model is Miss Bailey as the site coordinator. And she's there to talk with the students and remove any barriers that may be in the way that doesn't allow them to focus on their schoolwork. And then we also provide things like our leadership ambassador program. We have school supplies. We bring in a lot of different things that we get from the community. We are a nonprofit, and we're the community arm of the Performance Learning Center. And so, parents, I just want to say to you, I know it hasn't always been easy, but congratulations. And you deserve a lot of credit. We know that parental involvement is one of the most important things for our children's success. So congratulations to you along with the students, and good luck, and you have a great future ahead of you, and take advantage of everything you can.
Wow. Really, wow. Good thing. I want to share with you just a minute, Mr. Wagner, who's our area superintendent for schools, sends his apologies. There's a retirement luncheon today, and he had to be there. But he sends his apologies. I just wanted to close with something that I think is important. There was a student I was talking to Monday in the hallway, and I kind of met the student, and I said, hey, it's Monday, have a great day, as I was starting the student class, have a great day. And she said, it's Monday, it's not a great day. It's not going to be a great day. And I said, well, you know, the good news is you get to choose. And that's very true about a lot of things. And so I said, you know, maybe it's not going to be a great day, but you can choose to make it a good day or an okay day. Doesn't have to be a bad day. So I know that the last thing probably you guys wanted was a book or something to read. However, there's a book in that bag. And the title of it is called Choose Your Own Adulthood. Now I'm going to tell you, I have a 32-year-old son, and when he was about your age, maybe 21, a little bit older than you, I asked him because he would not listen to my advice. Parents, I know you've never had that experience at all. But he would not listen to my advice, and so I finally asked him, I said, if you gave me an approval rating, what % of the time would you say I'm correct? And at 21, he said 92% of the time. At which point I hit my head on the wall and said, if I'm right 92% of the time, why won't you listen to anything that I'm telling you? And often I give my children books. I even once gave him a book for Christmas. I taped a $100 bill in the middle of the book. No joke.
They all read a book for $100.
Yeah, he did too, but he hadn't read it in 7 years. At some point, he's going to wake up and be really surprised, or somebody in Goodwill is going to be really surprised when they pick up a book and find the $100 bill in the middle of it. So, the title of that book is Choose Your Own Adulthood, because the truth is that no matter what life throws your way, you get to choose. You get to choose. It's in there somewhere. In good advice. You get to choose. Whatever happens in life that comes your way, you get to choose. And never forget that. Whatever happens, you get the choice. You get to choose. You guys and ladies have been amazing. This is an amazing place. I want to take just a minute, and Ms. Faye already said it. Parents, the hardest job ever is being a parent. Pay's not so good, and it doesn't end. I wish I could tell you, I thought that when my child graduated from high school, that my parenting was fun. I was like, woo, it's good. Until then I realized that wasn't quite the story. So I wish I could tell you it's over, but it's just beginning. So keep on keeping on. You've got some great kids. We just all grow into our skin at different times. So you've got some amazing students. So parents, thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your efforts, your contributions. You're getting them here, staying on them to be here. Students, I want to take just a minute and ask you to give your teachers a round of applause. I've been a principal for many years, and I don't know that I've ever seen such a dedicated group of teachers that will
celebrate, no party is, if not, it's not a party if you don't have food. So we have cupcakes and refreshments in the back. We're gonna ask that our guests and our graduates participate first. But we wanna thank you for coming. I also wanna remind you that next Wednesday, this is our honor ceremony. The next Wednesday is a graduation ceremony where students who have graduated all the way throughout the year, we're gonna have one final ceremony at First Baptist Church, and there's information coming home about that today, if you didn't get communicated with about that. But thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day and celebrate.